GEM, I just want to talk about how you can utilize a series of pure proxies, multisigs and any proxies, as curators on a bounty. So before we dive into how it works, we should explain the different types of accounts and what they mean. So a pure proxy is a keyless and deterministic account. What that means is there's no private key or seed phrase associated with it, and it only executes transactions if it is told to do so by an account that is associated with it. So then we'll go into the next layer, which is the curator multisig any proxy. So to explain a multisig, for those that don't know, a multisig is basically an account that consists of multiple other accounts that come to consensus in order to execute a transaction on chain. Then an any proxy is an account that is assigned to another account that can tell that account to initiate any transaction, including balance transfers. So in this case, this curator multisig any proxy would be able to, once it comes to consensus, tell this pure proxy to initiate any transaction on the blockchain. Now let's dive into why this setup is important or good to use for a bounties curator team. So the pure proxy on the right hand side would be the account that is assigned to the bounty on chain that can tell the bounty to spend funds and stuff of that nature. That pure proxy gets told what to do by the multisig, which is the any proxy. So again, this multisig can tell this pure proxy to do any transaction. And the bit that confuses people, I believe, is that you can have a pure proxy be a member of the multisig. Why is that important? Because it allows a group, an organization, an entity to be part of a curator multisig without sharing a hot wallet, which obviously is quite bad because you won't know who has signed the transaction. And then in this scenario, the chaos DAO pure proxy is controlled by the chaos DAO multisig as an any proxy. So this multisig of chaos DAO members can tell this pure proxy to sign multisig transactions on this multisig, which then controls the pure proxy. So let's show this working in reality on West End. So in this example, there is this main curator team pure proxy, which would be the account that is assigned on chain to the bounty. This main curator team pure proxy is controlled by the curator team multisig as an any proxy. In this scenario, the curator team multisig is controlled by two of my hot wallets, but they could obviously be anybody else or any other entity in reality, and by chaos DAO. So chaos DAO is represented on chain as a pure proxy, this one over here, and this pure proxy is controlled by the test Westy multisig as an any proxy, and this test Westy multisig is controlled by two of my hot wallets, but obviously in reality it would be multiple people. So let's show the process of sending a balance transfer, which hopefully helps to demonstrate that you could authorize any transaction. So let's send 0.1 West End tokens from the proxy account to Limo. So what are we looking at here? This proxy account is the curator team multisig any proxy, and one of the signatories of this multisig has to be selected here. If you only control one of those accounts, only one will appear. I can see all of them because I currently control all of these accounts. So let's sign it from the Limo account. Now what would have to happen is the person initiating this transaction would have to share this multisig call data, which I will copy now, and the call hash. In this example, we will just remember that the call hash ends in 44 and copy this call data. So let's sign this transaction. Now what will happen is this multisig will have a nice pink icon appear, as it just has, which indicates that there is a multisig transaction to be signed. So now we can sign this from the Chaos DAO account by pasting in the call data. But as we remember, this is not a hot wallet, it is a pure proxy, so there's another step that needs to happen. So if Chaos DAO goes to sign this multisig transaction on the curator team multisig, it will come up with another multisig call and call hash. So let's copy the call data, and remember that the call hash ends in 22. So let's sign that transaction. Now, because the Chaos DAO Pure Proxy is controlled by the test Westy multisig, there will be a nice pink icon that appears here, as has just happened. So when we open that, we can see that it ends in 22, that the call hash ends in 22. So now we can paste in the call data that we copied previously and approve this transaction. And if we remember, this was to send 0.1 West End from this main curator team account. So when we sign it, it should be approved and we should have a balance of 1.6 West End tokens, which has now happened, showing that this account setup definitely works on chain. Again, this account setup adds some flexibility and security for multisig, curator multisig participants. It allows groups of individuals or like an entity, an organization, to be represented on the multisig without sharing a hot wallet, which is infinitely better, obviously. So I hope this video helped to explain it, helped to show that it is indeed working, and hopefully everybody starts to adopt this system, as I believe it is a lot better than sharing hot wallets. Thank you very much.